Hey guys, Seed up here, and it's time for another anime battle and anime talk, and I want to put Space Dandy versus Cannon Busters. Now, I really enjoyed both of these two shows. We're going to do it into 5 categories again, like we always do, with the animation, main characters, side characters, antagonists, and the plot in general. So we're going to get into that right now. Animation. Cannon Busters animation is pretty straightforward. I really like it. I enjoy it. Space Dandy's is very different though. Space Dandy gives you so many different type of art styles. I love that Fisherman episode, and Space Dandy experiments more with their animation than Cannon Busters. Cannon Busters, they have one thing and it's for the whole show. Space Dandy, they have different type of art styles and it's really colorful in Space Dandy. So for me, it really depends on what you want, because some people may not like some of the animation in Space Dandy depending on the episode. They might not like that art style, but I enjoy you taking a chance and risking it more than the straightforward approach. And with Space Dandy, it works better. So for me personally, I got to give the point to Space Dandy on animation, just because I like you being able to have different art styles and different takes on your animation. Cannon Busters is good. I think Space Dandy's is better because of different, and just even their regular one is just better to me. I just like how it looks more than Cannon Busters. So give the point to Space Dandy. Main characters. So we have Philly the Kid, who is the main character of Cannon Busters. You can argue that a little bit, I guess, but to me it's Philly the Kid. And for Space Dandy, it's Dandy. And Philly the Kid can take people the wrong way. Like, he could be taken the wrong way. People could hate Philly the Kid. With Space Dandy, I don't think you can really hate Dandy like that. Like, you may not like some of his perverted aspects. Like, you might not like that part, but with Philly the Kid, he's kind of an asshole. He's a dick. He really doesn't want to be bothered. He's very self-centered and selfish. Space Dandy a little bit, but not even to the degree of Philly the Kid. And Dandy really cares. Philly the Kid cares too, eventually, but it takes a long time. It's towards the end of the season that he starts to care. With Dandy, I feel like he cared sooner, and he has a bigger heart than Philly the Kid, definitely. I remember that girl episode with the little girl. I don't really want to say anything and go into details with it, but you could just tell Dandy has a way bigger heart, and people can look at that more than Philly the Kid, who's also a little bit perverted, but there's no heart in it like it is with Dandy. Like, Dandy, he seems like the perverted type that will actually care about the girl. Philly the Kid, not as much. Or actually, not as much. Not at all. Philly the Kid doesn't give a 2 fucks about the girls he's going after and stuff like that. He's very self-centered. I like Philly the Kid a lot, personally, but I know some other people may not. And it's not about who I like more. It's just about who's the better character. And I like Philly the Kid, I think, more than Space Dandy. But I think Dandy is the better main character. So for the point, I'm going to give it to Dandy. Next we have the side characters, minor characters, and with Space Dandy we have Meow, we have QT, and that girl Honey. Honey really to me wasn't important. She had like a couple moments. And even Meow, I like their minor characters in Space Dandy, but Meow really didn't have that much either. QT to me was the one who got the most out of the whole thing. Most of it's Space Dandy, and they bring in another character, arch the group, and they bring in another character, and it helps the plot a little bit more than if it's just their single episode. QT is the only one who had like an episode where it really shined on him and gave him some good character development. But for the most part, it's Dandy. The whole show is Dandy, which I guess it should be. But they just help Dandy out. There's really no development for them, for the other characters. As for Cannon Busters, there is a complete difference in this. Philly the Kid to me is not even really, you can argue, the main character. I mean, he is, but I think there's other characters who get a lot more character development, and I feel like Philly the Kid, there's still a lot more to learn. Even though he did dig into the past a little bit, there's still a lot there and a lot of mystery to his character. Cannon Busters focused on other characters more than Philly the Kid. Sam has a whole backstory. Even Nine as well, who quit his group and became a drunk and is a very skilled assassin who joins up with them. You really want to know more about him as well. Prince Toji and Sam's plot is the backbone really of the show, and I don't think either of them are the main characters. I still think it's Philly the Kid because you still follow his story a lot, but they get a lot of development, they get a lot of shine too, and they even have the main antagonist because of that story between them and the backstory of them. So I gotta give this to easily Cannon Busters. They did a lot better job with the minor and supporting characters. They killed it to me over Space Dandy. Space Dandy, they usually bring in other characters who are usually there for one episode or two, but they're not really consistent. These characters are way more consistent and show up and show out throughout the whole show. So I gotta give this to Cannon Busters.
If you know the destination, we making conversation. Time is ticking, sun is setting, we got no time for waiting. Might be a showdown, look like it's about to go down. Bust through with the cannon at the hold down.
Next is antagonistic. Oh, Space Dandy ain't got no shot here. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but Space Dandy, they can't compare. They had what, Dr. Jail? Come on, man. He showed maybe sometime at the end of the episode. Yeah, and I guess he had that one racer guy. He was racing and some monsters, but Space Dandy, they don't got no shot here. Antagonist, it's easily Cannon Busters. They had Locke. They had the Red Ronin Assassins. They had a whole bunch of people. They had that other girl. Like, this is just a slaughter when it comes to the antagonist. I get it. Space Dandy really doesn't focus on that. It's more about the adventures and stuff. But yeah, this is a slaughter. I'm not even gonna say much more about this. Give the point to Cannon Busters.
If you know the destination, we making conversation. Time is ticking, sun is setting, we got no time for waiting. Might be a showdown, look like it's about to go down. Bust through with the cannon at the hold down.
Okay, now the plot. And the plot, it's a close one. Space Dandy is not a consistent plot. It's more of an episode to episode thing. While Cannon Busters, they give you the episode to episode thing, but it's still a consistent storyline. It's still they're on the way to one destination. Space Dandy, they can die in one episode and be brought back, and shit can happen to them in another episode and they're back again. It's not about that. It's an episode to episode basis for Space Dandy. And some of my favorite episodes of Space Dandy is that time where he's with the little girl in QT's episode where he's falling in love with the robot. Like, I love Space Dandy's singular episodes. But with Cannon Busters, they give you some of those singular episodes or two-part episodes where they're stuck in one situation, but it's over and it moves on. So you get that from Cannon Busters. You kind of get the episode to episode thing as well as the journey. With Space Dandy, the journey really doesn't start until the end of the second season or the end of the series where they're finally taking on Dr. Jail. Like, none of that really matters throughout the whole season. Nobody really cares about Dr. Jail because it's not about that. It's about them and their adventure and what they're doing on this episode. So it's really based off what you want. If you want an episode to episode thing where you don't have to focus on the story and can just jump into any episode, Space Dandy would be for you. If you want a full storyline and a full continuous story while you get those singular episodes, you would go with Cannon Busters. And that's why I think Cannon Busters has to get this point, because they give you a little bit of Space Dandy and they give you the whole story, so it's for both of those audiences. If you're a stickler for I want the story to start from A to B to C to D, you don't want Space Dandy. That's not the show for you, because they will go on some other type of journey in the next episode. They could be somewhere completely different from one episode to the next. Cannon Busters, it's more consistent and you get that a little bit. Space Dandy, it's great. Space Dandy is great, don't get me wrong. But for the storyline, for plot, I gotta give it to Cannon Busters. And this is now, because if Cannon Busters fucks up their ending, I will give it back to Space Dandy, and Space Dandy would be the winner. Because since they have this consistent storyline, you can't fuck up the ending and have some horrible ending and that fucks everything up. Like, you can't have a horrible ending that just fucks the whole show and your whole dynamic up. Space Dandy doesn't really have to worry about that, because if they fuck the ending up, it's like, whatever, we don't really care. Because we got it from the first episode. They tell you this type of anime is an episode to episode thing. They've died and came back plenty of times. So, giving it to Cannon Busters for now, but if they fuck up that ending, it's going back to a space dandy. I know some people can say, like, how can you just have a horrible ending but everything else is great? No. Ask Game of Thrones. If you fuck up the ending, it can fuck up the whole show. So for right now, I'm giving it to Cannon Busters, and I'm giving them the better show. But they can fuck it up. But for now, if I had to pick between the two, I'm giving it to Cannon Busters. Now, if I had a favorite episode, or just one episode that's like the best out of all of them, I would probably give it to Space Dandy, but for a whole plot, storyline, and everything else, give it to Cannon Busters. They win this. They win the anime battle. Thank you guys for watching. C-Dub out. Peace.
The Canada